outlet and just get your pizza delivered. So at home you need to have a dining table, and you need to have your drinks. That's it. And another thing is, I just take a step out, go to my car with my family, go to outlet and have my pizza there. Nothing at home. So these are like options or ways in which I can consume and eat pizza. Okay, now exactly the same way, let's see our service model. So this is my service model: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay, one column is missing, which is basically I don't want to focus on that because that is an older way, the traditional data centers. Okay, in which everything you provision it or you procure it and build application on that. That is what is known as the traditional data centers. If I talk about the cloud data centers, which are very much relevant now, in which I will be having infrastructure as a service. Okay, now infrastructure as a service means the data centers where my servers and everything is there, that will be owned by the vendors. Now these vendors can be anything. Okay, either my Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure or Oracle or Google or Alibaba, whatever it is. Okay, these are all my service provider. They're exactly like your telephone company. Okay, we have got Geo, we have got Airtel, we have got Vodafone, all these services, and we can take any one of the service. Okay, we are not going to have our own tower and then we are going to, call it. We need to have it. So some service provider. So that is where. So the last three in the red here, if you see, let me have a pointer there. So these three in orange, which you are seeing here, is I am outsourcing it to the provider who is going to have their own data centers and some hardware and the virtualization layer over it. And over that, whatever operating system I needed, whatever application I want to deploy, whatever data I want to keep it, that is all my choice. So top four in blue is where I am having my the underground infrastructure. I have provision. I have out. Coming to the platform as a service. Now I really, just want a platform where I can, develop the application. I can start, developing my solutions over it. So I don't worry which operating system it is. I really don't worry about like what middleware it is using. Middleware is something which is, going to communicate with the underlying hardware. So I am just going to deploy my application and load my data into it and start, doing my testing, development, developing my applications, whatever it is, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to get a platform of where I'm going to start using those services. Next comes is software as a service, where I am just worried about my data. Rest everything I don't know. I don't care about it. I just need a platform and that's it. So now in each category, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, let's have an example. Okay, so in Amazon Web Services, okay, like in wherever you are, or say you are doing any one of your project or so, you might have come across Amazon Web Services, okay, where you are provisioning the virtual machine, or in fact, forget about that. In your or college or hostel, whenever you are running any server, you are connecting to that remotely. Okay, anybody's else machine, like suppose if you want to access my laptop from your end, that means infrastructure is all owned by me. So that is what is infrastructure as a service. I can, allow say 10 users who can access my laptop, and I can give you the access for testing and for deploying. That means infrastructure entirely I am owning and you are only using. So I am providing infrastructure as a service, which is in case is the laptop for your purpose, whatever your requirement is. Coming to the platform as a service, now you say that, okay, you want to, have one database as well for storing your data. Along with the laptop, I am going to give you one database as well. Okay, and you are now going to access that database. That means entire database is under my control, and you are basically just going to use it, loading your data and everything. So that means it is a platform. I'm giving you the platform where you are going to use that database, integrate your application. Maybe it might be running somewhere else. So that is the platform as a service. Now coming to the software as a service, that is you are using it already from long time. Just creation of your email ID, Gmail. Gmail is what? Is the software as a service. Comes under that category where you are just creating your login and start sending and receiving emails. For everyone, it is the same thing. The entire thing is maintained by Google, and you are just creating an email ID and start it. They have given some versions there, a premium or say the official version or something, for office purpose. But other than that, it is same for everyone. So you are going to load your data, load your email, forward it, and whatever you want to do it. But that comes under the software as a service. You don't have any control in case if your email is not working. You don't have any control over it. You need to raise an request with the Google that okay, my email is not working or it is blocked or something. That is what is known as the software as a service. So here if we see these models, all three models in the closer way, infrastructure as a service is basically the compute, storage and network. These are like three services which talks about that. So these are like three pillars. Now, if I talk about the platform as a service, over and above the infrastructure as a service, I am taking care of my operating system and the application stack as well. And in case of software as a service, the packaged software over and above your infrastructure and the PaaS, that is also I am taking care, and you just need to load the data. Okay, now from the service model, let's come to the deployment model. Okay, and before that, whatever your doubts and whatever your questions which are coming to your mind or you have anything, put it in the chat window and I'm going to take that at the end. So cloud deployment model, now based on like your company's requirement, you can have the deployment model. Okay, now there is a concept of private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, community cloud, which comes as the deployment model. Now let's talk about that. So today, if you go ahead and create a cloud account in Amazon Web Services or Azure or Oracle or whatever the cloud services you are aware of, or you want to get into it, you are going to create an account, and that is what is known as the public cloud service. That means it is available to the public, to the whole world, to you, and you can log in and start using the services there. It can be a free service, it can be a paid service. Okay, and it has got all the cloud features available in it. You can create database, you can create storage, you can create virtual machines, deploy your applications over it. So everything you can access it from your home network, from your mobile, from anywhere. Okay, so that it means it is open to public. Okay, of course it will be having all the security aspects, the credentials and everything. Now comes to the private, where organizations are more concerned because of the security. Okay, because of the security of the data. What they will do is they want to have the cloud service model, but in their own data centers. Okay, or maybe it should have a secure access. Not everybody in the world can use it. Those services should be there in the data center. Like a classic example here is the banking data. Banking data, you can't store it in the public place. Okay, or say the one which is going to have a public access. It should be always in the secured environment. Okay, or sometimes the companies have got the governance issue as well. Okay, like usually if you have heard the Middle East side area, they have a thing that okay, their data should not be going out of the country. That is the regulation at the country level. So in those cases, private cloud comes into picture, and they want to have their data securely, even though it is going to have a higher price, but they are okay with it. Before coming to the community, let's go with the hybrid model. Okay, hybrid model is the combination of anything, public, private, on-premise, or your own data centers. Few services are there. You are not moving everything to the cloud, but some services you are maintaining it at the cloud as well. So that integration is basically known as the hybrid, which is very much nowadays required, because companies are a bit afraid of moving all the data to cloud. So they want to move it in the phase wise. So some they are moving it to the cloud, some they are keeping it on premise. So that is where it is. Community cloud. So community cloud is something like, say, a big company like Reliance. They have got various businesses. They are into jewels, they are into footwear, clothes, retail, groceries, everything. Now they want, okay, and each of their business is owned by, have got a complete hierarchy there. Okay, is separate from each other. Now they want to have a cloud. Instead of going to a public or the private, what they will do is they will be signing everything between them. They have a common thing, and they are going to have a cloud provider which only deals with the Reliance services. Okay, or maybe a same kind of business is there, like your Amazon and Flipkart. They are into the same line. Now they can share the base, same kind of cloud. Okay, and they have an agreement that they are not going to cross each other's boundary. So a similar minds or similar business line can have a, they can go ahead and hire a cloud provider and say that, okay, only we will be there, and we don't want anybody else to be part of your cloud family, or your services should be owned by us only. So that is what is known as the community cloud, where you are going to share the resource, but not with many, but with few like-minded business. Right. So we have seen the we have seen the service model, we have seen the characteristics, we have seen the deployment models. Now, if you want to keep it all together, then this is where how it looks like. Okay, you can have any kind of deployment model. Over that, you can have a service model like what you are using, infrastructure, platform, or SaaS, or even the combination infrastructure plus PaaS or SaaS, whatever it is. And above that, you can explore that services according to the business requirement. So that is where your top layer comes. Right. So we have got various cloud vendors available, as I have mentioned: Amazon, Google, Salesforce, Oracle, and out of that, you might be hearing only about few a lot, like Amazon, Google, Oracle, and your Azure. These are like the four major players on the cloud, and they are mostly focused on the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and maybe few portion of software as a service. Okay, now each of these players here you are seeing, they are into some or the other service model. Okay, like Amazon, if I talk about, which is a highly um, you know uh, like heavily heard in the market, is based on the infrastructure as a service and the platform as a service. They don't have much of the SaaS model. But if I talk about, say, Oracle has got balance in all the three areas. They have got the software as a service offerings as well, the platform as a service offering as well, and infrastructure as a service offering as well. So like that, there are many cloud vendors which are providing these services accordingly, but they are all expanding as well every now and then. From the cloud solutioning or from the business solutioning point of view, new services are getting added. So it is not like that, okay, today I learn Amazon Web Services and that's it. It is a continuous learning process, as I have mentioned, because they are expanding and adding more services. So you need to keep track of all those services. Right. So why we are learning all these is because to get some good learning environment, and also for the job purpose. If you see, this is the recent search. If I just put the cloud computing in the search window, okay, I get around 34,000 jobs are available. Okay, that is only in India. But if I explore it at the different level, different filter, there will be more jobs which are there. And believe me, everything, as I have mentioned, that is boiled up or get boiled down to cloud computing itself, some or the other way. If you want to implement anything, okay, like you might have heard about the Bitcoin and all nowadays, the blockchain technology, okay, which is again all the leading cloud providers provide the blockchain platform where you can generate or develop your applications, the smart contracts or whatever it is, and can develop it on that, the customized way of building the solution. So you will get all those things available there. LinkedIn, which is like, if you see, you search with whatever, wherever, what is your interest, and you will see a lot of jobs are available, because this is a big change. Okay, it is not going to end up with uh, so soon. It is not going to end up so soon. It is always, there will be a continuous requirement will be there. So that is where you need to do the upskilling of yourself. Right. So coming to the roles and responsibilities, on the roles and responsibilities side, you can develop your, find your interest, that what where your interest is. Okay. You can become as an infrastructure engineer. Okay. Where you are going to manage the entire infrastructure of an organization. Okay. You can be DevOps, which is again a big buzzword which is going on, which is a combination of development and operation. And that is where, you whenever you are want to develop any application or do an automation, that is where DevOps comes. So that is related to the language, the new languages. If you are very much interested in coding, then the DevOps is your area. Architects, which basically are into the designing area. Whenever you want to implement a solution, architects are the one which is going to design it, make it robust, single point of failure they are going to avoid it, and give you a robust design of your application. This also includes the networking as well, the base network engineers, which you are seeing it in your organizations, which are there still, network administrators. So those are also part of architects. Then you can have a cloud solutioning, where the pre-built solutions which are available by cloud providers will be available, like a solutioning of supply chain and services in Oracle, or maybe the blockchain available in Microsoft Azure, which you can just pick it, build your solution around that according to your organization requirement, and can implement it. And the foremost which is going to be there, always required, is the security. Whatever thing you are going to put it on the cloud needs to pass all the security norms. Okay, because this is the organization data, very important and very sensitive. So you need to make sure that all the security aspects are dealt with. Recently, if you might have seen, there is a vulnerabilities, lot of vulnerabilities are there, hacking was there, even on the HDFC Bank and all, they were not available there, or some passwords were compromised. So that is where you need to make sure that the security is always required. And there are some cloud native solutions as well which are there, Kubernetes and all, if that is in the cloud thing, where the solutioning is going to be most of the most, and again the security is also required. Right, so this is the time to decide and map your future. If you are, say, starting your career, or if you want to change your career and get it into the cloud, this is where, this is 2021. The growth on the cloud computing is $300 billion, which is a huge thing on the revenue side. So think about it. What are the top players, where you want to pitch in, what interests you? That is the first thing you need to think about it. Okay, so definitely everyone, each one of you can come into the cloud technology and start building it. Even like if you want to start your own business, like as a startup company, you definitely need to have a cloud technology available for you to run your business. So by any ways, you need to get into the cloud. There will be no one who is going to be out of cloud. So the question comes is, where to start? Okay, so where to start? First you need to find out that what interests you, what where you are going to find your kick. Okay, like, I really, when I started my career, I really don't like coding. And I thought that, okay, if I'm not into coding, what I'm going to do? Then I became a database administrator. That is where you don't require coding. but you need to manage, you need to recover the databases, you need to recover the application, make sure that everything is in place, the user management and many things. So I have started learning that. I have worked, I'm still working as a database administrator. Okay, along with that, now the thing is everything has moved to cloud. So my gear got changed, but base I have started is with database administrator where it doesn't require coding. Now when I come to that, now people are looking for the automation. My interest is also into coding now. Okay, I have developed my interest with time, and now I am into coding too. I am writing the codes for the automation of my infrastructure. Various options are there. DevOps, I am also getting into the DevOps side as well and spreading my legs there too. So first you need to find it out that where you want to be. Okay, then you select the provider. That is nothing there. Many cloud providers are there. Select one. All these cloud providers have got minor difference in their services, maybe the naming convention or so, and some of the features. Otherwise, all are same. Learn one and you will be able to scale up with other cloud providers wherever is required. Check about the service portfolio. Everybody needs to know that what services are available in the cloud. Okay, and as and when required, you can use those services as a part of solution. Maybe your colleague is going to develop a solution which has been already as available as a pre-built solution in the cloud providers. So where you have to learn about the complete portfolio, and then later you can specialize it. Like you want to specialize on the security side, you want to specialize on the infrastructure side, or coding side, DevOps side. That is your choice where you can specialize. So this is what I feel that okay, the track you should follow, and that is how you can proceed with that.